Hey everyone, today we're talking about Jesus' good news. The Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me because Yahweh has anointed me. He has set me to bring good news to the oppressed, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and release to the prisoners, to proclaim the year of Yahweh's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all those who mourn, to provide for those who mourn in Zion, to give them a garland instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the mantle of praise instead of a faint spirit. They will be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh to display his glory. They shall build up the ancient ruins. They shall raise up the former devastations. They shall repair the ruined cities and the devastations of many generations. Now, I said that, the passages we're looking at in Isaiah this week are connecting to Holy Week, the last week of Jesus' life, but I kind of think this informs all of Jesus' ministry because he quotes this passage in his inaugural sermon in his Nazareth hometown synagogue. And, famously, after he did it, they wanted to kill him. And so maybe it is still relevant to his last week. We have to remind ourselves that the good news of the gospel isn't just a message about Jesus, something that we believe in order to escape to heaven someday, but the good news is also something that he preached that brings heaven to earth right now. And as we see here, that it specifically is for the oppressed and the brokenhearted and the imprisoned. And we can understand those concepts in a lot of different ways, but I think we want to avoid the tendency to over-spiritualize and think that it's only talking about spiritual matters and not people's actual situations. The year of Yahweh's favor that's described here is the year of Jubilee, which is a biblical practice of forgiving debts and returning land to its ancestral owners, right? This is real world stuff that actually makes a difference for people right now. Why did Jesus get killed? And in general, why do prophets get rejected? If they're just telling people, hey, be nice, love, and forgive, really that's kind of harmless. But to actually challenge oppressive systems, that's a threat to the powers that be, whether it's religious or otherwise. But I think that's actually the kind of love that we're called to. Do we actually want to repair the devastations of many generations, as Isaiah describes, or are we basically okay with it as long as we get some reward in the next life? Who is the good news good for? If it's not good for those who need it the most, I don't think it's all that great. I think Jesus was rejected for trying to bring good news to bad people. So, is his good news doing any good here and now? Now, part of this good news is that we have hope that we don't have to just fix everything that's wrong in the world by our own power. That's not good news. That just creates anxiety and guilt. And instead, we hear that we have the same power that inspired Jesus in us. So let's listen to the voice of that Spirit today and continue Jesus' gospel mission.